Mordechai Levin ran his cobbler's shop on Nalewki Street in Warsaw's Jewish quarter, just as his father had done before him, mending the soles of his neighbors' shoes with the same care he'd shown for 40 years. The streets outside were a tapestry of Jewish life, scholars debating Talmudic passages in makeshift study houses, merchants haggling over prices, children playing between errands, a community knitted together by centuries of tradition and shared struggle. Each Friday evening, as Mordecai closed his shop and climbed the narrow stairs to join his wife for Shabbat, the rhythm of Jewish observance provided a comforting constancy in an increasingly uncertain world. As 1939 progressed, whispers of war grew louder, creeping into conversations between repairs, interrupting the steady rhythm of Mordecai's hammer as radios broadcast news of Hitler's aggressive speeches and territorial demands. His son Avram urged him to accept the visa to America that their relatives had secured, but Mordecai would shake his head and gesture around the workshop. "How can I leave what took generations to build?" By summer, military vehicles rumbled through Warsaw's streets with increasing frequency, and Mordecai noticed how some neighbors no longer met his eyes, as if Jewish suffering was already becoming something they'd need to pretend not to see. In his final weeks at the shop, Mordecai repaired shoes with even greater attention to detail, each stitch a silent prayer, each piece of leather chosen as carefully as if it might be the last pair he would ever mend in the workshop where he'd spent his life. On the first day of September, as German bombs began falling on the outskirts of Warsaw, Mordecai finally surrendered to his family's pleas, boarding the last train to Gdansk with nothing but a small case of tools, his prayer book, and the memories of a life about to be erased. Within days, the workshop that had sheltered 4 generations of Jewish cobblers was reduced to splintered wood and scattered leather, joining thousands of other Jewish businesses and homes vanishing into the smoke of history's darkest chapter. Years later, when Mordecai's granddaughter returned to Nalewki Street, she found nothing but ghosts and memories, yet in her hands she carried her grandfather's hammer, a simple tool that had survived when an entire world had not.